Welcome to this channel. In this short tutorial we're going to talk about Dhcp configuration with relay agent. We have two separate networks with one router, Dhcp. So 172.16.10.0 is one separate network. 172.16.20.0 is another network. We're going to configure Dhcp on this server right here to hand over IP addresses to all the devices that are connected on each LAN. And without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. It's going to be a very short one, and I'm going to start off with router 1. So I'll get into, let me exit out to exit. So I'll get into enable mode conft interface. So we have two interfaces on the router, interface G0/1 to G0/0. So I'm going to configure this first, and I'll get on this to configure that one next. So interface G0/1, IP address 172.168, and if you look on the screen to your right, you'll find the configuration that I typed over there, and follow my presentation. So we have 172.16.10.1 is going to be the IP address of the router interface that goes to the blue network. So we need to put in the default gateway, subnet mask 0, and something was wrong. Let's go back in. IP address 172.16, IP address 172.16.0, so 172.16.10.1, 255.255.0, and on that interface we can go ahead and say no shutdown to bring that interface up. So that interface is up. You can see it's changing from red to green. So we're making some progress. Let's jump on the other side of the network on G0/ exit out of /1 interface G0/0, IP address 172.16.20.1, 255.255.255.0. So remember, this network is, this IP address is on this network, 172.16.20.0 network. So they are all running off of different IP addresses. Okay, so for some reasons the device was on already. I need to do some configuration. Exit, do show run, find out what is going on this interface. Okay, so I've configured 0/0 to be 172.16.20.1, 255.255.0, interface G0/1, 172.16.10, the 1. So something is wrong here. Okay, G0/1 goes on that side. Okay, so that is correct. We go ahead and start configuring the IP address on the DHCP server. So with the DHCP server, you come to desktop, click on IP configuration, and give your IP address for the DHCP server, and that is going to be 254. You specify your
Daniel lost down.
You have to specify 255.0 to 172.16.20.1 as your default gateway. So that is good. We want to leave here and go to services. On services, you're going to turn on the DHCP protocol and turn it on. Once you turn it on, since we have already configured the IP address of the interface, it's kind of picked up some information from that interface. So we're going to start. We have pool 1, first pool, which is over there. We're going to leave it like that. Specify your default gateway 172.16.20.1. right? Come to the next one, 172.16.20.1 for your DNS server. Okay. You're going to start handling the IP addresses from, let's say, .100. Okay. That's where the DHCP server start handling IP addresses from the range of 100 through 254, and 254 has been assigned to the DHCP server, so we can go up to 253 on this network. So let's go to how many devices we want to have on this. I will do, let me do 60. We want to leave the TFTP server like that, and all we have to do is just save this. Now we have saved this in the configuration, so we can go to, because you know this DHCP server is connected on the same LAN as this DHCP service, the one in the purple. So you click on let's say one of the devices. Since your device is on static, it's not going to receive IP addresses. You need to click on DHCP to be able to. Now it's requesting for DHCP. It's a DHCP request successful, and this device was assigned 172.16.20.100. So that is a good thing. Let's go to another PC. Let's go to this printer. You clicked on the device. You come to turn on your DHCP and go to the interface. Okay, so we have default gateway DNS, and let's go to fast Ethernet /0. That was the Ethernet port on the printer. So that also has an IP address of 172.16.20.101. So basically, the DHCP server is doing its job as it's supposed to. So let's go to the other network, this network on the blue side, and let's ping. Let's try and see if it can get IP address from the DHCP server, because remember they are on a different subnet. So click on DHCP server, and it's requesting for IP addresses. Let's see what happened. No, it said DHCP failed. Okay, So, and the reason is this router, this network has no idea about this network right here, so we need to configure IP helper address on this interface to enable this network to hand over every packet that is coming from this LAN to this network. So we're going to go into the interface, that is so let's go on the router interface, Control C, do conf t interface G0/1. That is a router interface that is connected to 172.16.10 network. We're going to do IP, do question mark to find out what we want. We have access group, address, authentication flow, helper, hello interval, helper address. So that is what we want. We want helper address. Okay, that will specify a destination address for UDP broadcast. So we want to do helper dash address, and the DHCP server is 172.16.20.254. okay, so that is good. So now this router should be able to hand over all IP or DHCP requests to the DHCP server. Okay, so there's going to be different DHCP server requests coming from all these clients to this router interface, and since it has the DHCP helper address configured on this interface, that means it has information about the DHCP server, and therefore it will go ahead and hand over the information to the DHCP server, and the DHCP server will also respond to each DHCP client in a very respectful way with each of their IP address. So with that configured, let's see if PC0 can have IP address. Remember, it's on static, so click on static right here and come back to, now we are requesting for IP address. Okay, and it says that DHCP failed, a paper is not used, so we have to investigate why the DHCP server is not handing over IP addresses to these devices. Let me get back on this interface. Exit. Do show run. Let's find what is going on this router interfaces. So what is happening is we need to add the network, this network, to the DHCP server because it has no knowledge about it yet. So we will come here and let's say we create a different pool for the DHCP server to hand a specific set of IP addresses to the LAN network on blue, okay, to 172.16.10 network. So we're going to start from 10, that is our default gateway. Our DNS is also 10, so just come arrow, left arrow, put 10, that is good. And we want to tell our DHCP server to start from 100, but we have to change that to 10, okay, and everything else is good. good. So we'll go ahead and say save. Server pool name cannot be modified. Edit a new pool will be added. So new pool has been added. So we now have 172.16.10.1 network added to this configuration. So everything we configured here is now being added to the database on the DHCP server. So now if we go to PC0 on .10 network, we should be able to receive go back to DHCP. Now we are requesting, say DHCP request successful. So now it's giving 172.16.10.100 network to all the IP address is now coming from .10.0 network. So 172.16.10.100 is coming from this IP address that we configured. So you can see 172.16.10.0 belongs the .100 belongs to that network. So it's good. Let's go ahead and check this route on this PC. Click on DHCP, and now it's requesting, says successful. So you can see 172.16.10.101 has been assigned to the PC, and it did not assign .20, but it assigned 10 because we added that to the router, to the DHCP server database. So that is pretty cool. It doesn't with this configuration, that means you don't have to go to each device and manually assign IP addresses to every device on your network. Okay, so now we are able to get our IP address for the printer to be 172.16.10.102. So that is cool stuff. Let me go ahead and add. So assuming that you have a workstation, laptop 3, right? It's a device that you just added to your network. All you need is just go and grab a straight through cable or Ethernet cable, connect to your fast Ethernet port and connect to the switch. Remember, your network administrator has already configured all these IP addresses and all the configuration that is needed. So once you connect to your device is going to get IP address that will be able to take you to the network to do all your Googling stuff and everything. So let's wait for this PC to go through the initialization stage to become an active network, and then we can go ahead and test to see if it has received the IP address. We have another new PC on this network. We can also connect that from fast Ethernet port 0 to the switch. We can choose whatever port we want, and definitely the DHCP server should be able to provide IP addresses to that PC as well. So that is a very good protocol, and I know a lot of network engineers have implemented this type of network on their network. So once again, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. It's a pleasure to be with you on YouTube here. Subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell. Each time I do a video, you're going to receive a copy of this, and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.